It is hard to have a conversation about enterprise technology today without talking about generative AI and ChatGPT. The question is, does it become more than a novelty, and does it become something that's actually applicable and useful in an enterprise context? Recently, Zoho has announced 13 generative AI applications using the OpenAI's ChatGPT models. And so I had an opportunity to sit down to talk with Ram, the head of AI research for Zoho, to understand how Zoho is leveraging this technology, what it means to the future for enterprises, and how this is going to play out in the future. Ram, thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm very excited about this conversation. This is some exciting news coming out of Zoho, and I think everyone's going to be very interested in sort of really digging into it. So let's do that. Zoho has announced the release of 13 generative AI-based applications and extensions, all powered by ChatGPT, which of course is all the rage now since it was released recently. And so we want to sort of dive into it. So really, as a starting point, can you just tell us what Zoho has announced?
Zoho has been working on AI for 11 plus years now, and our homegrown AI Zia is tightly integrated across our product suite. So we believe broadly in the three core tenets of AI: experience, value, and privacy. Now generative AI has made a lot of noise outside. Today we announced the integration of ChatGPT, OpenAI's AI engine, with 13 of our products, and more are coming. The idea behind this integration is Zoho is a technology player, and we want to give the enterprises and businesses that are using our suite an opportunity to get cutting edge AI. So the idea is, given how we put the privacy aspect in it, is we ask businesses to go sign up with OpenAI, get an API key, and put it into Zoho. That way the context is not mixed across users. So your organization has an API key with OpenAI, and every time data flows into OpenAI, we also have a privacy alert that is shown, just to ensure you don't inadvertently send data to a third party. So the short term, we have integrated ChatGPT just to ensure our customers are able to get generative capabilities. In the medium term, we will have a bouquet of options. We will bring in multiple other vendors as well, where businesses can choose which LLM, large language model service provider, I should go. And in the long term, we plan to build large language models ourselves.
So let's dig into a few of these components. The first is privacy. So obviously, privacy is something that is an important aspect of, I think, for Zoho's culture, but also in your sort of go-to-market. And so that also makes the whole alignment with ChatGPT sort of interesting, because OpenAI is sort of coming under a lot of pressure right now about privacy issues. My concern is, does that not also sort of create an experience problem in that I now have to be able to figure out how to go get this API? How is that all working, and how do you sort of bridge those two tenets of privacy and experience?
The idea is more for business administrators, businesses, to give them a choice. OpenAI's privacy policy states that if you are a paid customer, they will not be using the data to train their large language model. So that also comes in as a safety net. So I think with all of these, we will be able to kind of solve the teething privacy question that has been around.
So, and let's look at it from the other perspective. One of the things that we're seeing some very interesting use cases come out is that organizations are leveraging ChatGPT and then training it on their data, right? Which again opens up sort of the privacy concerns. But I'm sort of getting at that's not what you're doing. Is that correct? Or
that's absolutely not what we are doing. We have a lot of small and medium business customers, and from the start we have been lowering the entry barrier to get them into AI. So we use techniques like few shot learning, transfer learning, where the model is pre-trained with publicly available data, and then it is given to the end user with just limited amount of samples. Zia's models are tuned to that. Even with the limited amounts of data, you will be able to get the prediction. The idea is to build models with limited amounts of data that is sourced ethically, data that is sustainable in the long run, so that businesses can make use of it. One prime advantage Zoho has is our vast array of apps. So we see the entire life cycle of a customer's customer or a customer's employee. That gives us an advantage as well.
It sounds like you're talking about, and I would agree with this, that some of the capabilities that we would think of wanting from AI are going to continue to come from your traditional approach using Zia, and then some through now this ChatGPT integration. So I'm curious how seamless that is for a customer.
We have all been in cases where we had to explain our case to multiple support agents for some kind of support that we've been looking at, and that's a really frustrating experience. Zia already looks at the ticket, identifies what it is talking about, and then assigns it to the right support agent. This is what is already available in-house. Now, with ChatGPT integration, the support agent or the support manager will be able to get a summary of what is going on in the ticket and also look at the life cycle of the customer. Again, the life cycle is brought in by Zia because it is so local. So I see this as an intersection of local data with public intelligence, right? So this is where Zia and ChatGPT can work together. Imagine questions like in Zoho Analytics, you can ask, how does my revenue compare with the revenue of my publicly traded competitors, right? And the external LLM can bring in that intelligence, and your revenue can still stay private within Zia. And Zia gets the response, and then you are able to pull it out together. So this fusion of internal data and external intelligence is something I think would be very beneficial for our customers.
So where's all this going? If you look forward, you've already mentioned that there's sort of a midterm and long-term approach and maybe building your own large language model in the future. If I'm an enterprise leader and I'm trying to figure out what is this really going to mean to the future of my business and how I leverage the Zoho suite, what would you say?
Today, knowledge extraction across your enterprise is a big challenge. Getting a single view of your customer's lifecycle or a support ticket's lifecycle is a challenging one. At Zoho, we have always believed in X plus AI, meaning CRM plus AI. We've never showcased ourselves as an AI company, but how can we add value using AI to a CRM user? I see AI helping organizations optimize their processes. So every organization is process driven. So now there is a support ticket coming in, and then there is a person who's reading it, finding out what it talks about, and then assigning it to the right person. Now, if that is automated, that human can better spend his time answering his customers' tickets than looking at finding out who to assign. And now we have all of these contextual information because Zoho people tells me, is the support agent in? Zoho desk tells me how many tickets does he have in his queue? And from CRM, I can identify how valuable this customer is. So should I give him a VIP treatment or not? So the consolidation of data across your suite of business apps, along with contextual intelligence, is where the future is. This is from a process perspective. And from a revenue perspective, let's say you're doing a sales call and you have an AI engine that looks at the tone of the way you talk and then asks you to highlight a few key points because it has a look at all of your traditional past conversations, what all converted, what all didn't. So that can give you insights, and this can be a revenue boost. So process optimization, revenue maximization will be the goals of AI for any big enterprise.
Great. Ram, thank you so much for joining me and telling us all about the future of AI within Zoho.